What's up, everybody, and welcome back to A Beer a Day with TK. It is a frigid evening here in Findlay, Ohio, and the Ginger Yeti and I are getting ready to check out a new beer in the beer shed. So, the beer we have today is called Gin Rickey, and this is the 2020 version, and this is from Firestone Walker out of Paso Robles, California. So, this was actually a beer that. Did you get me this for Christmas or my birthday or something?
For Christmas, it was like
it was a 3-pack?
3-pack of the Gin Rickey, Parabola,
and
I don't remember what the other one was.
But they were 2020, 2021, and 2022. So it was like 3 different beers. And I think these have sat in the fridge for
a year.
At least, yeah. I mean, a year and now a half because my birthday's in July. Right?
I got it for you for Christmas.
Was it Christmas? Was it last Christmas?
Yes.
So then I guess maybe it is about a year. All right. So about a year ago, we got these, and finally we're going to break it down.
Have you ever had a Gin Rickey?
I haven't. I know what it is. I know it's like an old-timey drink from the Prohibition era and all this. I've heard of them. But, like, I mean, Anderson and I were both bartenders. Like, when I was in law school, we worked together. But, like, people weren't drinking Gin Rickeys.
I mean, that's a drink with bathtub gin, some sort of citrus juice, and soda water.
Yeah. I mean,
but I think the official one is lime juice and soda water. But
have you had one?
Probably
at some point?
Possibly, but yeah. I can't say anytime recently.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I know that Firestone Walker gets really great ratings. I think the only Firestone Walker beer I ever had, we were chatting earlier, I was in Vegas, I think it was last March, and I went to like a CVS or something. They had like a man can of one of their beers. It was like an IPA or something, but I mean, I think that's the only one I've ever had.
I mean, I'm pretty sure, and you people out there can correct me if I'm wrong, the Gin Rickey was one of those drinks that, like you said, during Prohibition, they designed that or they invented that because when you're making bathtub gin, bathtub bourbon, Everclear, whatever, not Everclear, but moonshine.
You got to make it taste good.
You got to make it taste good.
Yeah.
And so they added some of this stuff to make the bathtub gin taste good.
I do know this. When I was reading the description of this, I don't know if it was on Untappd or maybe the website, it said something about that it's very carbonated to mimic what a Gin Rickey is like. Now, the cap is interesting. It's a bear trying to fight somebody, which I'm in favor of. Pretty neat.
I think that's their logo.
But it looks like it has abs.
It's also on right up here.
Ah, yeah, it is. It's like a fighting bear. I don't know if I ever told you this. There's a fighting lion as well on this side. One of my father's friends flew to Alaska in like the 70s and fought a bear. Did I ever tell you this?
Why?
This guy was a big-time drug dealer, had tons of money, and actually flew out to Alaska to fist fight a bear. I think they taped the mouth shut so it can't bite you, and I think it had like claws or whatever it was. And maybe it was like a brown bear, one of the smaller ones. But
there is no small bear.
Listen, it destroyed him. I think it broke his ribs, his arm, and his jaw. And I remember hearing this and thinking like, well, of course it did. It's a bear. It's like, I mean, it could take your head off with one swing. But apparently at some point, cats was fighting bears, which is absurd.
I wouldn't fight a panda bear.
No, dude, I don't even like fighting other people if I don't have to. I'm going to fight goddamn bear. It's going to kill me. So, I'm looking at this label here. It says 2020 Gin Rickey Vintage. And it says OG 23 Plato. IBUs 17 cases. There's only 300 cases of these produced.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Pretty dope. That's a cooler Christmas present than I had expected. And this says Plato. Oh, the final gravity over here, 2.6. Yeast, British ale, color, 13 SRM. Gin barrel aged ale with lime peel and spices. 11.3% ABV. Already said the ABUs. IBUs. Ratings wise, that's very good. Untappd 4.01. BeerADay 4.03. Shockingly similar.
Now, I'm a fan of gin. Are you?
No, not at all. I don't like gin. I'm not a big liquor drinker, and if I do, the only thing I really like is maybe bourbon. I'm not a huge liquor drinker. Never really have been. Gin, to me, is probably the foulest of the liquors. No, tequila's the worst. But I did have a bad run-in in Mexico where I got concussion and then a run-in with the law. But other than that, gin is not one of my favorites. So
I like gin. I drink gin and tonics regularly.
My aunt does.
Especially on the plane when they don't have good beer.
A lot of the Brits do. My Aunt Margaret used to drink gin and tonic.
That's not the color I expected.
I don't know.
Even though they said it was, a 13.
Did they say this is, listen, it says this is supposed to be a blonde barley wine matured on gin barrels.
Yes.
For 18 months. And it says with zested lime peel, mace, which we looked up, which was the
husks of nutmeg.
Yeah. Coriander and juniper berries, and obviously juniper berries are what gin is made from, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to give you a bit more since this is a barley wine to make sure you have plenty.
Do I remember correctly it said it was at 13 on the SRM?
Yes. Well, yeah, let me see. I thought it was 13.
13.
Color, yeah, 13.
Does that look like a 13 to you?
We will break out our SRM chart. Yeah, it does.
It does.
Yeah. So that's like the medium amber color. Yeah. Yeah, they're right. I'm usually not that right. Yeah, I mean that's what it is.
There is one big chunk of something floating in the bottom.
Yeah, I see it. And I'm thanking Jesus that it's not in my glass.
You probably set me up.
The funny thing is, the bubbles. No, I got a couple as well. There's some bubbles, but they seem just to be like suspended there. They're not moving at all. Head, negligible.
Yeah, I mean,
white,
very thin. Just sat there for a second.
Now it's a barley wine, so I mean, it's not a big frothy beer.
Remember when we drank that Bigfoot?
Barley wines, if you do not know, are probably our least favorite style of beer in the entire world.
That Bigfoot. We need to get a Bigfoot and do a video on it. So. That wasn't a good noise. Oh, that's interesting.
You definitely get a bit of a lime.
That is interesting.
You get a bit of a lime. You
definitely get the lime.
You get a bit of a sweetness that you pick up in a barley wine.
This almost has the nose of a old fashioned, like the citrus.
Was it the bitters or whatever?
And yeah.
What did we have? Was it the Guinness, the old fashioned one? Remember the Guinness?
Yeah, and I think we had the old fashioned from Albert, the guy up in Canada that gives me beers.
That one was nice. That was the one from Montreal, right? Was that the one?
Yeah, somewhere in Quebec, in Quebec province. Yes,
I think we had two from them. One was the candy cane
one,
and one was that. They were both fire at that brewery. Yeah, I mean, it smells more like a mixed drink than a beer. I think
it definitely does. I mean, you really get a lot of strong lime to it, and
there's not a lot of flavors. I'm a fan of barley wine. Least favorite style limes. Do not like. We'll see what happens. But now, the one thing that does shock me, I thought that when I read this, they said it was like very carbonated to mimic the style of a Gin Rickey, and carbon. I mean, maybe we'll taste it.
Maybe it's carbonated in the mouthfeel.
I don't see it here, bro. I mean, let's see what it's like. Ready?
Another barley wine.
We'll have this and then dance the Charleston. We'll see what's going on. Body, probably medium on the higher end.
Medium to high.
Yeah, medium full. Ugh. Nowhere near as offensive as I thought it was going to be. I hear barley wine and my brain says, run for the hills, TK. Get out of here.
It does have that barley wine flavor on the back end. It's not strong.
Yeah.
It's not offensive. It's that weird, like...
It's a sweet... It's a sweet alcohol taste.
It's an offensive raisiny taste. Because you have like a good raisiny taste in some stouts and things.
I think oatmeal stouts have that.
And then an offensive raisiny, a sickening.
I call it the stomach bile taste. Like,
yes.
Have you ever had the flu for like a week and you're lying on the floor on the tiles praying that God takes you now, and you're dry heaving, and it's like that sweet alcohol thing?
Yes. That's
what barley wines taste like to me, and I despise them.
Yes.
This has 2% of that. So you definitely get that that super sweet alcohol bit.
It is there.
But it's way dialed down and it's not offensive and it's actually not bad.
I mean, if more barley wines were on that side of it, I'd be interested in trying a lot more barley wines. I'd be less offended by them.
Do you pick up the lime and the gin, which would be, I guess, the juniper berries? I actually don't think I tasted like tons.
The juniper ginny thing, no. The lime, yes.
What else did it say? Mace. Coriander, yes. I think you get the coriander.
I'm not familiar with mace. I'd never heard that word until we were looking this beer up. Coriander, yeah.
But what did it say? It was nutmeg. Right? Was it the nutmeg husk?
But it's not the same. It said it's not the same.
I don't think it tastes like nutmeg.
Right.
Because nutmeg would be like pumpkin pie spice, kind of that kind of crap. I do think that you get coriander for sure. Because there are, you know, you have a lot of corianders in a lot of different types of beers, or that flavor, and I think you do get that.
In a weird way, I do think you get the carbonation.
Let me take a big sip. I've been avoiding doing it, but
in a weird way, I do think you get the carbonation, but it's more of a.
It's a bit syrupy too.
A flavor than so much of a mouthfeel.
What do you think? A bit syrupy?
It is a bit syrupy, but the carbonation is more of a flavor than a mouthfeel, I think.
Mm. What do you think?
So that's interesting. I don't know. This is a tough one.
I don't particularly like it, to be brutally honest.
This is a tough one for me.
Ratings-wise, does good. It obviously tastes like it's supposed to taste like. But this is one of those situations where when you do these beers, you know, again, you talk about how do you rate it. Is it what it's supposed to be? I suspect
yes,
it is.
I think it's exactly
do
what it's
I
supposed to
like
be.
what it's supposed to be? Not so much.
See,
the smell, it just doesn't work for me. And again, it's just because I don't like saying I don't like them is probably being too.
I don't dislike this.
Do you want another one?
If they made another year, yes.
What do you mean?
If this is the 2020, they only made it in 2020. They only made 300 cases of it. If they once again released like a 2023 version of the...
But would you buy it because it's rare and it has like, you know, the 2023 on the bottle and there's only 600 cases? Or would you like it and say, damn, want another one of these?
Or if I saw this on draft at the brewery...
Yeah.
Would I say, damn, I like this, I want another one of these? No. Would I buy one again out of curiosity? Yes.
It's not the same thing, though. Because, like, to me, here's the
because
thing. Are you getting sucked in by its Firestone, Walker, and Rare?
No, I don't give a shit about Firestone, Walker.
You know what I'm saying, though?
But right,
like,
I understand what you're saying.
I mean, look, if you told me there's 7 beers left, you know, 7 of these made, I'm going to try it, obviously, right? Whether you like it or not, I want to try it.
Do you know what it's like?
What?
That stupid candy we tried. The durian fruit candy.
I kind of like that.
It's a weird, interesting flavor.
I would agree with that. Would I want to eat it regularly in my lunch instead of a Twinkie? No. But it was neat. Yeah, I agree.
Would you try another thing kind of similar to that?
Listen, this isn't so off-putting that I would say, oh, Christ, don't want another one. Would I seek it out? No. Am I glad that I tried it? Of course. It's a low check-in, interesting thing. And again, it's probably just my aversion towards barley wines that makes me say, like,
Like, this is a hard one.
For me, it's not a bad beer whatsoever. It's just not a style that I like. I'm sure this is. I mean, look, everybody's saying it's 4+. If this is your thing, I'm sure it's a great example of that. It's just not my thing.
I'm gonna give this a thumbs up.
Okay.
I mean, it's interesting. It's different.
So this is like the last Tyson Fury fight. We have a split card here.
Yes.
Different people think different things. And again, you know, if you like barley wines, I'm sure this is really good. It's just not for me, dude.
I'm not a fan of barley wines at all. Although I keep saying that, and if I go back to my Untappd history, there's been quite a few barley wines I have liked, which is odd. I bet you have too, which is odd. Maybe Bigfoot gave us a bad taste in our mouth.
Or maybe it was the first time we had.
But again,
something
also
like
it's interesting because you don't like gin. I like gin.
Yeah, I'm not a gin.
I'm a gin drinker. So, yeah, I would drink this again.
Okay. So mixed card.
I mean, it's not like a big thumbs up, not 2 thumbs up, but I would definitely drink this again. This is an interesting beer.
So hopefully you don't have a split decision on whether you like the video, and if you do, I hope you like me more than Anderson. But listen, that's neither here nor there. Please hit the thumbs up, hit that like button. If you want to see more videos like this, please hit subscribe. And as always, you got any comments or questions, jump in down below. Have you tried this Gin Rickey from Firestone Walker's 2020 version? Is there a newer version maybe somebody's had that we're unaware of? I mean, I would be interested to try another one to see.
Or does some other brewery do a Gin Rickey kind of beer?
I'm sure somebody does. But if you've had it, let us know in the comments. Hey, till next time.
Cheers.